Did you ever wonder what happens if you run out of battery on an electric car? Is there a reserve charge below the 0% for forgettable people like me? Does the car go off as soon as the 0-mile range is reached? Well, this is me in this video, driving with a 0% charge on my way to work. I will show you the story of what happened and how I got myself in this situation. You see, it turns out a couple of things didn't go as planned. Let's see if the car runs out of battery before I finish. First, I charge my car at work, and it is scheduled to charge to 70% every day from Monday to Thursday and Fridays to 90% because I don't charge during the weekend. So this is where mistake number 1 comes in. I had to go on a vacation trip, so I canceled the scheduled charge I just mentioned so the car would charge all the way to 90%. But as you might guess, that did not happen. All it did was stop charging completely, so the car didn't get any charge at all that day. Next day was my flight. Next day I had to do some shopping, so I decided to drive to Hollywood to get some souvenirs during LA peak hours. And if you didn't know how bad it gets here during peak hours, this is how bad it gets here during peak hours. So story long short, I got home with a 20% battery, around 50 miles, and the car was going to stay parked for 5 days. So I thought, that's actually pretty good. Wrong. It turns out electric cars have a little downside that not many people like to talk about. Something called phantom drain. What is phantom drain, you ask? Phantom drain is when your car loses battery charge even though it's not being used. Just like your smartphone, even though you are not using it, the battery goes down slowly by keeping the phone. And in an electric car, this effect is even more noticeable when the climate is really cold. And even though I knew all this stuff, there is one last thing that went wrong. And that was one of my videos. You see, as I was walking you through my car, I enabled something called a scheduled departure. And as I explained before, this feature is to precondition your car so it is nice and comfy when you get in it in the morning or the afternoon. The problem is that I wasn't gonna use the car for those 5 days, but the car was turning on the AC for who knows how long every day at 8 AM, draining the battery even more. Now, you may think there is a way to check your battery charge when you are away, right? And there is. You can check your battery charge on your phone using the Tesla app. But on my other trips, I have noticed that actually drains your battery even more because the phone is keeping the car awake to show you the current battery percent and the temperature and all that information. So I tend to disable the app when I'm going on trips. And what happened when I came to drive to work in the morning? First, the car took a little while to respond to the key fob, as usual when it hasn't been used for a while. And for my surprise, after like another minute of the car powering on, the display showed 0 miles and 10 psi on one of my rear tires. And then I started thinking, what should I do? Should I call Tesla? Should I call my insurance? Should I hit the like button? Should I subscribe? And eventually I decided to take a chance and safely take the 5 miles drive to work where I could charge it. And if I get stranded along the way, I was gonna have to call Tesla anyway. But keep in mind, I'm not encouraging you to do this. And anyway, most people get to charge their car at home, so what I had to do was not normal. You would wake up with the car fully charged every morning when you plug in at home, and that's something you can have with a normal gas car. Unless you somehow got a gas station in your garage, I don't know. If I wasn't living in an apartment with no charging outlets near my parking spot, I would have left the car charging and taken an Uber to work. There is a couple of things I did to make sure the car consumed as little energy as possible. First, I turned off the AC. Then I made sure the car was in energy saving mode. Then I stopped the music. And I was about to lower the screen brightness, but I was not thinking straight, as you can imagine, so I forgot what the option to do this was. And then I thought the time I was gonna spend looking for it was not worth it. But let's stop for a minute and listen, since I'm about to reach my destination. And to my surprise, the car made it like a champion. And it didn't even turn off the main screen. Subscribe for more episodes. In the next video I will show you a compilation of videos of people cutting me off and all the crazy things. So see you next week, and thank you for watching. Yes, car, yes, I could do it right now.